Hi, everybody. It's Jennifer. I got a great question related to the World Cup. What does throng mean? And throng means a huge group of people. And you might have heard this word when people say there were throngs of people at the game, or Boston was thronged by people because so many people from Scotland were here for the World Cup. So this word is tricky. So I am going to teach it today with three other more common words, and I think this will help you a little bit. So our words today are throng, wrong, song, and long. Let's talk about this ending pattern. So we have two sounds to end these words. I'm using a phonetic symbol here, this NG symbol, and this is a nasal sound. It is not an N plus a G. It is its own sound. So to say this NG sound, think about, first of all, saying the G sound, G, 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 and the K sound, K, K, K. Okay, that is where your tongue needs to be for this sound. So let's say it again, G, G, K, K. Okay, that's where your tongue is. Now, make the air come out of your nose. Okay, so it's kind of an NG. That's why we spell it that way. It sounds like a little bit of both. If you say an N by accident, the reason this is happening is because you are touching the tip of your tongue to the back of your top front teeth where the skin and the teeth meet on the roof of your mouth. So again, the tip of the tongue needs to be low for that NG sound. Okay, good news. This ah, we are also going to have a wide open mouth. The mouth is going to be open wide. The tip of the tongue is going to be low. Love it. So your tongue is going to be there, and all that is going to happen is you're going to have your mouth open for that ah, and then we are going to slightly close it for that NG sound. The back of your tongue may bump against the roof of your mouth. Okay, so let's try the sound number one. Ah, ong, ong, ong. So we have the vowel ah, and then the NG. And then when we put those all together, we're just going to move slightly from that ah to the NG. Ong, ong, ong. Okay. Now, let's try that with an L. Start by touching the spot where the teeth and the skin meet for that L. Long, long. Keep the air moving out of the mouth from the L to the ah to the NG. Long, long, long. Now for song, we're just going to say an S sound. The tip of your tongue doesn't touch anywhere. Air just keeps moving out. Song, 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 song. And wrong. Pro tip here, we don't say a W. It's just an R. Wrong, 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 wrong. If you struggle with that R, don't touch the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth or the teeth or anything. The tip of the tongue does not touch. It's either pointed down or flipped back. Okay, so now we know how to say wrong. Let's add the TH. That's all we're going to do here. Tricky, yes, I know this is a tricky one. So we're going to say the TH. You're going to have the tongue out of the mouth. It is not touching the teeth anywhere. Now, if you are a native speaker, you may touch your teeth, but if you are a non-native speaker of English, I really encourage you, do not touch your teeth. I make a little cup in my mouth with my tongue like this. You can see the air is still able to get over the tip of my tongue. Yes, native speakers, the tongue may touch on the sides, but don't think about getting fancy for you people who are non-native speakers. Just think about not touching the teeth at all. Trust me, that is so much better. Okay, So we're going to say that TH. Pull the tongue in. Don't touch, don't touch, don't touch. Either point it down or flip it back for the R. Are we ready? Wrong. 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 Throng. Throng. If you have a little bit of trouble with this, add a teeny tiny up sound between your TH and your R. Throng. 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 That's okay. Just make it as short and as quick as possible. Okay, let's give these all a try. Let's start from the bottom. Long, long, long. Song, song, song. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Throng, throng, throng. Last thing I want to mention is that where I was raised, we say a really strong NG at the end of the word. So sometimes I still do this and I'll say throng and I'll add like an extra g there. Technically, you don't do that. However, you can as long as you are not making two sounds. Don't think of it as an NG. Just think about it as maybe adding a little extra G on there. That's okay, but no two sounds. It is one sound, okay? Last time, let's give these a try. Throng, wrong, song, long. All right, and now for a sentence. I watched the long line of people singing many songs walking through Boston. And then there was a throng of people in the park celebrating. Unfortunately, they went the wrong way and had to go the other way back to see the game. I know that was a long sentence, so give it a try. I know people are going to notice the difference. I've been loving the World Cup. I want you all to come back for the World Cup again. I think we need to have it in the US, Canada, and Mexico all the time because it's been so much fun. And I know nothing about soccer or football. So thank you all so much for being here and for listening to all of my ramblings about the World Cup. I really have been enjoying it. So thanks so much for being here, everyone. Have an amazing day.